Or, the schools that she went to were very eclectic and diverse. And that was great. But that being said, if you look at who she married and surrounded herself with, um, I don't feel that she has license to play the race card.
No,
Personal opinion.
indeed. Indeed. So, so,
Yeah.
so, so, Peter, back to the case. Are you confident that now this Democratic judge is,
wait for it,
out the way, who seemed to me to be completely in Meghan's camp for political reasons? Do you feel more confident now that it's in the appeal court?
Feel I'm going to get a fair
very good question.
shake. Now, I don't want to say that this judge acted out of bias,
No.
just because she was appointed by
No, you can't say that. I can
Barack
say
Hussein
that.
Obama. There are appointees on the bench that were appointed by Obama who are just wonderful, fair judges, and so to smear her with an unfair brush and saying that this is what motivated her to make the decision she made, I can't say that in all fairness. I can say,
wait for it,
it may. But now I'm going to be in front of a panel of 3 judges in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. And it's very possible that I'm going to get 3 more Democrat judges.
okay, I'm listening, you have my attention,
Or I'm going to get 3 Republican judges, or I'm going to get a mix in most likelihood, at the greatest likelihood. And I think that these judges are at that point, these are
wait for it,
learned men and women who have achieved an epitome of success. Okay, to be a judge on a court that's just below the level of the Supreme Court of the United States, you've got to be somebody. And as long, I don't know who's been appointed in the last 3.5 years. The Biden appointees, I've seen some of them worry me. Some of them are probably great. But the fact of the matter is that I think we'll have a fair shot going forward, and we'll see what happens. I just hope.
Stop it.
For the
And
sake,
will Meghan Markle have to take the stand?
not in the appeal. The appeal is based entirely on the record of what was said, and this was the dismissal of a complaint that is deemed to be true on
wait for it,
all of the allegations in it. And we've got all of these things that were said, and either the Court of Appeal is going to do what our trial court judge did, and do what the defense wanted, what Meghan Markle wanted, and look at each one individually. I mean, even if we were to take every word that I'm saying here today individually, it doesn't mean anything. It's when you combine words and you combine thoughts. I mean, that's thoughts are basically, how do we think? We think in terms of concepts. Okay,
I'm listening, you have my attention,
if you want to think of a cup of tea, that's a concept, and we have words that make that up. And the most dangerous part of Meghan Markle isn't what Meghan Markle has done to her sister and her father.
Fact.
And the royal family, for goodness sakes. The most horrific part of Meghan Markle is what would possibly come about in the event that the globalists
That doesn't make sense.
should walk away with this election like they did the last one. Because quite frankly, that would probably put her in a position of some power.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
she wants political power, doesn't she?
very good question.
Yes, that's what she longs for. These folk don't get it wrong. I mean, here they are, the worst offenders that I've ever seen in terms of being able to destroy somebody on the internet, because they've got the Sussex Squad. which you have personal, you
I
have
know all
personal
about it.
experience. But oh my God, they are absolutely horrendous. And
You serious?
you have them basically controlling the worst abuse on the internet as they go around
Yeah.
pretending that what they want to do is stop all kinds of activity,
And they have
such as that.
never once called out the Sussex Squad. Never once. They have never once said, do not troll in our name. In fact, the honorary leader of the Sussex Squad, the bloke who you mentioned, Christopher Boozy, was actually given the big platform on their Netflix show. And Sam, look, Peter's talking about this from a legal perspective, but from a personal perspective, I know this has caused you a huge amount of pain, hasn't it? You feel like Meghan did all she could to degrade you, to discredit you, to
You better answer the fucking question.
effectively ruin your future earning opportunities. And it's taken a huge toll.
Exactly. More than 5-6 years of my life. I mean, there was a point when I couldn't go out of the house because people were reading tabloids that were driven by paid PR, making me out to look like a monster. And so my reputation as a mental health counselor, my degree, my personal friendships, neighborhoods, so any social activity, I became really reclusive because people would judge me. And I heard whisperings from next door neighbors based on what they heard, and it was really a difficult way to live because of social labels that were driven by, in my opinion, a corrupt agenda, malicious and paid. And I didn't have the power to fight that. So it felt like no matter what I say, nobody's going to listen to me because all they see is, everything that's going out on, up in the ether in cyberspace, where all the money's floating around and where the control really happens.
Are you serious?
And it was very real. It reminded me
Yeah.
of the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. There was somebody behind the curtain creating the big cloud of smoke that was overwhelming, and that's all people really saw. And that's what they
And it took such a toll on you. And I always need to remind people, because for some reason at the moment, there is a particularly vicious streak out there of nastiness towards the Markle family online. And I really have to stress to everyone that I have known Samantha now since before the wedding. And everything that Samantha warned of
Wait for it.
has come true. So actually, if the royal family had listened to Samantha, if Harry had listened to Samantha, they would have known what was coming. And this particularly vicious streak online at the moment towards the Markle family really has to stop, because it is based on lies. You're buying into a Sussex Squad narrative, and it is really, really bad. So I just wanted to say that. Peter, can I just ask you a little bit? I mean, look, for people who don't know, we obviously discussed it in our last... Oh, sorry, you come in, Peter.
Yeah. I just want to comment. What Samantha didn't stress are all the death threats and the fact that it ruined her profession. She's a counselor that can no longer counsel. So her career is destroyed. Her safety is at risk, and there's a lot to be said about these, because these death threats aren't just little things. They're very realistic and very
Wait for it.
I get that. No, they very much are. Now, Peter, can I just talk a little bit about the political situation? Because some people will not know if they didn't watch our previous interview, which I do recommend people check out on my YouTube page. But you are obviously close friends
Are you serious?
with Donald Trump. You guys go way back. And you talk about the threat of the globalists winning the election in the US, which is obviously a real concern. But can we just have hope for a moment that Trump wins?
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
What happens then to Harry and Meghan? Is Harry's citizenship under threat because he admitted to illegal drug use in his autobiography Spare, for example? Because Trump, in the last few months, has not ruled out potentially deporting Harry.
Right. I know about it. I've never discussed this with with Donald Trump. When I talk with Donald Trump, I
Are you serious?
talk about what Donald Trump wants to talk about.
Yes.
I don't decide to change the agenda to what I want to talk about because I'm just privileged to be able to speak to him from time to time.